can I ask one or two people? So if you're feeling a bit positive, tell us, somebody. I'm going to do the positive, negative, middle.
I think there's huge opportunity to do good. And I think people generally want to get involved, and what is abundantly clear to me is there's a lot of need for activism. People to inform members of the church to say, here's the thing, that we've got an opportunity just to raise our voice and say, not in our name or not in our time.
Yeah.
I think that for me is the...
So that makes you feel positive, because what I've done now is I haven't just said, oh, it's such a big problem, it's complex. I've said, there's a whole lot of things to do. And I only made that list this evening before I came, right? I mean, yes, I've written a book about many other things, but not particularly about land. And if you in your home cells started to talk to each other, you'd have a lot of better ideas, right? Okay. So who's feeling a bit negative about, or a bit like, nah, this is just too big, or sad, or, yeah?
I'm thinking about this isn't another moving conversation. Then after today, it's a discussion that was held in your comment for now, in my life and expect to.
So I want to give you permission to remind people. The problem is you need your elders and your leaders to say that. But actually, I won't get too involved in the internal way that your church works. But you've also got to raise that issue. And white South Africans, you also need to raise that issue when the conversation goes silent. Because one of the things that black South Africans in the whole country frequently says is what I have to endure, all of what I endure, and I have to remind us to act. Why can't some other people also remind us to act? Okay. And it could be just another talk shop. It could be, restitution, ticked. You know, you had that sermon series last August, ticked. Okay. But also it's got to be part of how we speak about the gospel. I really like that thing, Zach, in Luke, where we tell the story of Zacchaeus. And Jesus says to Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus says to Jesus, whatever I've done wrong, I'm going to go and repay 4 times 7-fold. And Jesus doesn't say, no, don't worry. He says, today, salvation has come to this house. I like that. And I think we forget it frequently. So it's part of the redemption story, making things right. And it's not to overdo or to ignore this issue of forgiveness and healing. It's part of it that we produce fruit in keeping with repentance. We say, sorry, we do things to do fruit in keeping with repentance, and then we move on. Who's feeling in the middle? Who's feeling in the middle? Matt?
I think probably the middle leg is positive and a split of fear, to be honest. For me, I come to this discussion a lot through the lens of parents wanting to secure my children's future. And I think the question that I want to grapple with is the price of not moving forward in this, is the price that my children have to pay not greater, if I don't do, just kind of letting them inherit what I grew up with, unquestioned and undealt with, and just sort of saying, okay, you deal with this, and not just from the kind of particular time of, but actually, in terms of morality, looking at people with compassion, am I not giving them something more valuable than just kind of pushing them on?
Yeah. And I've heard from a close friend of mine who is a coloured South African, says one of the things that we give our children now is to teach them how not to need 500 times salary than the lowest paid worker in the organisation. That's an inheritance. It's to teach them a different set of values. Even though we're Christians, materialism has crept into our lives. Right? The Protestant work ethic is something that John Calvin taught us. That you work and then you reap the reward of work. The world is changing. And at the moment what people do is very rich people invest money in all sorts of places and reap the benefit without actually lifting a finger. Right? It's called rent-seeking in economics. And it's something that the church should be preaching about. Anyway, so there's different investments that we can give. Brian, to you.
I just want to say that I think in terms of future for the children, I think every parent want to have that for their children. They want really for children also to have a secure future. But the way things are going in the country, that I think there's a sense that the gap is widening. Instead of us saying, can we slow down on Hamas's materialism so that others who are at the bottom can begin to move up a little bit? Because this widening gap is not helpful. For example, when it comes to education, some of the schools are terrible where we are kids supposed to go. But some of us chosen to take our schools in different places where we know the education will be better. But to get there, it's phenomenally expensive. So people like myself, and let me say myself, you have to humiliate yourself to say, I cannot afford that. I need a reduction. But that's painful. And why should those who are poor keep on being subjected to that pain all the time, right through their lives? Why should only those who are well off not have that problem? So I think those are the things that we need to look at. How do we do that? But if all of us, our children are educated well, then the country will do much better for all of us.
I'm going to let Brian have the last word. Brandon, over to you.
Church of God, we've been well served tonight. I'd like to thank our speakers so much. Ruth, thank you. Charlene, thank you so much. Brian. As the people of God, Brian shared that we are all the people of God. And as I said initially, that this is a first step, a very cautious step into this area of a journey that I hope that God will burden our hearts to continue as a church. What does authentic Christianity look like in our current context? As we come to the close of our evening tonight, so much has been shared, so much food for thought. I'd like to close with a word out of Micah chapter 6 verse 8. And it's a verse that we all know. But I think after tonight, it may just mean something else, something more. It says, He has told you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. I see that we have a few minutes to spare. And so instead of just closing it off down right here, I'd like to ask us that in our tables, you haven't had much opportunity to interact with those around your tables. But I would like us to spend a minute or two in prayer around our tables. And then I will close our evening in prayer. Please take that moment after you have completed the evaluation forms, which is very valuable to our students.